Hey kids, Mr. Glenn here. Hope you are well. Now, what we want to do is we want to go and have a look at selection tools. Selection tools are so helpful for us, and they're really simple to use, providing that we just stick to a few rules, which are the brush size and a little bit of patience, and everything will be hunky-dory. Last thing we're looking at were layers. And we're looking at something really simple in layers, and that was the text tool. And while that is great, what we want to do is we want to merge the idea of managing our layers together with selections within our layers. Let's go and have a look to see how we can do this with our picture. Last time I saw you, we were like this. Inside my layers, I had my text layer, which is here, and I had my house layer, which is here. To make things easy and simple for me, what I tend to do is I tend to just keep my layers off like this, because down here when I've got my move tool open, it tells me where this empty thing is. When I've got it turned off, it tells me where this empty thing is with this visual at the bottom. It also keeps things nice and tidy, and it means that I can focus on the thing that I want to focus on. When I'm in my layers, the thing that is blue, the layer that is blue is the one that I'm working on. I want to work inside his background here. I'm going to use my selection tool, which is over here, which is between the owl and the magic wand. And then I've got a brush size, which is here. You can see it moving bigger and smaller in the center of the screen. I want it sort of reasonable size because I've got a reasonable shape here. I'm just going to go and drag around the center of this shape very slowly with a little bit of patience, and just go very slowly until I get the marching ants going all around this building. What I want to do now is I want to separate this building from this colour. And to do this, I need to do it in two ways. I need to go and bring up my context menu by long pressing on here and letting go. And then I can go and cut this thing out like so. And then I can just go over to my layers. I can go and tap on the plus, which is just below the word layer. It will say, what kind of layer do you want? And I want a pixel layer like this. I'm going to give it a name. And I just swipe across like I did with my delete. And then I rename my layer. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to call this house 1. So this is going to give me my house 1, and I'm going to put this context layer, and what I'm going to do is bring up my context layer in the house 1 layer and then paste it in there. And you can see the word paste. And when I paste it, the building should appear in exactly the same place, but separate from the blue. And it seems to not like the cut. Let's just go and undo that for a second. Let's just go and context menu this. If you get the cut to work, that'd be marvelous. Right, let's go and copy that. Let's just go long press and then paste it and see what it does now. And you can do this with me. There we go, got my paste in there. If I go and turn up my menu now, it's separated the two. The cut doesn't work, however, it's not a problem, because what I wanted to do was separate the blue from the background. And this is easily done. We can just go another way. What I want to do is make a new pixel layer, which is what we wanted to do before. Make a new pixel layer, tap on the plus, pixel layer. We're going to call this BG. So I'm going to go and swipe to the side, rename the layer. I'm going to call this BG, because we're going to get rid of that background layer later on. Next, we're going to go and fill this with colour. I'm going to go and deselect everything, long press on the menu, deselect everything. And inside my BG layer, I'm going to go and get my bucket fill tool, my flood fill tool, and inside my flood fill tool, I should be able to go and get my colour picker. So in my colours, in my colour palette on the white circle at the top, pick up the colour picker and drag it into the colour which is here, like this. And your colour will be automatically selected in here. Inside my BG layer, I'm going to go and get my bucket tool, and then I'm going to go and tap it in like that. I tapped on the screen. All I did was simply tap on the screen. You can see that my BG layer goes blue. If I go and turn off my background layer, you can see that when I tap on my BG layer, because it's completely empty, like this, tap on it, it goes blue, in the same blue as that. Now I can't see the background anymore because the blue is completely covered the background. Because I can pick this up and I can move this above the BG layer like this, and there it will come back again. Pick up the BG layer like this, drag it up above the BG, above the background, like so. Now, I have separated now the background layer and the background layer and the background colour completely. So what I can do now with my background is I can separate the two just by swiping across and deleting. This is going to give me lots and lots and lots to do and lots of flexibility, because it means I can go and turn off this, and it means that now I can go and select my building completely separate it. And I can bring up my context menu, long press on it with my finger, get my context menu, copy, long press with my context menu, paste, and I get another building like this. And I want 3 in total. Paste it again. Long press and get my context menu, deselect in the middle. So now I'm ready to go and move all my buildings around. Let's go and grab my move tool. And I can bring this down like this. Go and grab my second one. Whoops, that's my ruler. I don't want to move my ruler. Bring that down center. And now you can see that the bottom one that's in the middle is kind of hidden behind everything, isn't it? It's kind of hidden behind everything. So this can be annoying. However, not with layers. Long press, drag it all the way to the top, and now it stands out. And now I can go and start to arrange these, because this is going to give me loads to do with my title, because now my title can go and sit somewhere over here, and maybe I can go put this behind my buildings and give it a little bit of flair. All right, let's go and have a go at that. Go and see how well you get. Copying and pasting, separating your layers, and separating your buildings from your background and bringing it all together with a trio of buildings like this, ready to go and put our title on. Right, as always, good luck.